Omicron cases rise across India. How prepared are we? Should you be worried? We're prepping you 100%. Unmissable Omicron insight and info. Brace for Omicron.
Hello and welcome. You're watching a special broadcast. We're talking about India, like all of the countries, bracing for Omicron. How is India really doing it? Everybody is asking the question, where are the boosters? On the 16th of January, India had started its vaccination campaign, and ever since, there are people in the country who've got the vaccine at least 10 months ago. They say immunity is now waning, and where is our booster? Where is a third dose for the immunocompromised population and also for the high-risk category like healthcare workers, doctors, nurses and paramedical staff? We, in fact, spoke to a couple of doctors and tried to analyze and understand what the government is now thinking about starting off boosters or the additional dose, at least for the immunocompromised population. Here's more.
We know that the virus has infected people who have received 2 doses of vaccine. We even know from the Israeli case that there is a person who had received a booster dose of a Pfizer vaccine, therefore 3 doses of vaccine, and still got infected. So we need much more clinical information.
There is a need and the time is now. That is the word from India's top vaccinologists, doctors, health experts on the third dose or the additional dose for those with poor immunity that may be severely compromised. At a time when the world has been confronted with the 5th variant of concern, Omicron, and India is unspared, there is a growing demand for boosters in India, hoping it would offer further protection to those with compromised immunity. The government so far has said they are studying the need for the additional dose.
बूस्टर डोज के लिए इसके इम्पेरेटिव्स क्या हैं? ये सारा अध्ययन, जब मैंने कहा कि हम जो वैज्ञानिक पहलू हैं इसके, उसको बहुत ध्यान से स्टडी कर रहे हैं, इसके ऊपर पूरी नजर है. It's an ongoing work.
But the world is in a fix, say experts, and we can't wait, as vaccine hesitancy or complacency is also setting in.
There are some concerns for India. Number one, there has been a vaccine hesitancy growing over past 1 month. And rather than having at least 1 crore vaccination per day, we are having 50-60 lakh per day. So we need to escalate vaccination. Number two, we do not know whether this vaccine will protect this variant or not. And therefore, we need to have newer research and see that this variant is also covered in the vaccination program.
The efficacy is dipping down even to 34 to 44%. Therefore, the urgent need of a third dose, which is now being called as a booster dose, but should be a part of the primary immunization. I think the boosters are extremely important in India. We should have a plan, especially for the healthcare workers, the vulnerable and the elderlies with comorbids.
The focus, however, of the government is on the second dose coverage. INSACOG, the consortium of labs undertaking genomic sequencing, has said that vaccination of all remaining unvaccinated at-risk people and consideration of a booster dose for those 40 years of age and above, first targeting the most high-risk, high-exposure may be considered, since low levels of neutralizing antibodies from current vaccines are unlikely to be sufficient to neutralize Omicron. The risk of severe disease is still likely to be reduced. Sources within the National Technical Advisory Group on Immunization say that they're deliberating on the matter. But just yet, there is little clarity on when the concrete set of proposals for the additional dose or the third dose will be finalized. In New Delhi, Sneha Mordani for India Today. Joining me now are Dr. Arvinder Singh Soin, is the Group Chairman, Liver Transplant, Medanta. Professor Rijo John is the well-known health economist, and Professor Srinath Reddy is heading the Public Health Foundation of India. Thank you all for your time here. There is a growing need, a lot of people say, for us to now start giving out the third dose or the additional dose in the country. I want to begin by asking Dr. Arvinder Singh, who's been very vocal about this. Please do tell us, why do you think, Dr. Singh, is the time for us to now think about boosters, at least for the immunocompromised population and for the high-risk category like yourself?
So let's start with the basics. I believe that all of us are convinced that vaccination will prevent severe disease and death, even with the Omicron variant, until we know better. So with that logic, our main arsenal against COVID-19 of any variant, be it Omicron or Delta, is to vaccinate fully. Now, there are numerous studies that indicate that immunity after vaccination wanes after 4 to 9 months. There are two good studies from Israel and US published recently, which say that the earlier people have vaccinated, the more the incidence of breakthrough infection. So those people who vaccinated in Jan, Feb have more breakthrough infection compared to those who vaccinated in, let's say, April or May this year. So that is quite clear that boosters will be needed. Obviously, if the antibody level, the protective antibody levels have fallen, it's just logical deduction that booster would be necessary. Now, who are the groups that need the booster? Obviously, people who have got vaccinated early, especially the healthcare workers, who, if hell breaks loose, will again be exposed to high level of viral load among patients who come to hospitals. So healthcare workers need to be protected for sure. And then, of course, the elderly and the people with comorbidity. Now, the question of immunocompromise is slightly different because they need additional dose, not just a booster dose, which means that the same effect that 2 doses of vaccination can have in you and me will not have the same effect in the immunocompromised, which is why they need 3, sometimes even 4 doses.
Okay. Okay. You know, Professor Srinath Reddy, the basic function of a booster dose, and whatever you call it, an additional dose or a third dose, what is the basic function of a booster dose? If you could just explain that to our viewers.
I think as Dr. Soin has very clearly stated, for people who are having a weak immune response to the original vaccination, or for people who are having a waning response because considerable time has elapsed since the vaccination, and are in a danger of having reinfections or fresh infections with potentially dangerous consequences, a booster dose helps to increase the level of immunity, waking up some of the immune systems that are lying latent and dormant, and also giving an immediate protection in terms of high antibody titers, which are the first line of defense in the bloodstream before the virus enters the cells of the body, where again T cells may combat it. The whole idea is to protect those who are either at a high risk of exposure or a high risk of adverse outcomes because of serious disease resulting from the infection.
Okay. But Professor John, your view on boosters, and would you say that in India there's been a lot of delay in terms of giving out boosters or even actually deciding? The NTAGI has met already. They have not decided yet on what they want to recommend as far as the immunocompromised population is concerned. What's your view on how's the drive, essentially a vaccination drive, progressing?
Well, Sneha, when I look at the numbers here before me, I see that even among the 45 plus population, which are considered to be more prone to getting severe diseases, there are about 40 million 45 plus population in India right now who are not even got even a single dose so far, and there are 135 million of the 45 plus population who have not been fully vaccinated, which means they haven't either got they have got only 1 dose. The 135 million people who have not got either any dose or got only 1 dose. So you have such a high proportion of this highly vulnerable 45 plus population itself who have not been fully vaccinated yet. I do not have a problem with administering booster doses now, and we do have 20 crores of vaccine doses available at the moment with the states, and there's you can by all means go ahead, but then I personally believe that we should prioritize vaccinating this 45 plus population at least with a single dose, and if possible with double dose, before really engaging in a discussion of booster doses at the moment.
Dr. Singh, do you think that we can do both of these things, simultaneously ensure that the vaccination pace is good enough for the population that has not got the first or the second, and also at the same time look at starting boosters at least in a small way?
Yeah, absolutely. If we have enough vaccine stock, then by all means, people who are not vaccinated, including children, and those who haven't had their full vaccination should definitely get. But alongside, you can give boosters to people who are 6 to 9 months out, either after their last infection or after the last vaccine shot. I mean, at the end of the day, what we are trying to do is protect the vulnerable population. So not just the partially vaccinated people, but also people whose immunity has waned are vulnerable. So the whole effort needs to go in parallel. You have to fully vaccinate people, and if we have enough vaccine stock, then introducing boosters is a good idea.
Okay. Professor Reddy, a lot is being said about Omicron and why we need to really seriously think of boosters in the light of Omicron cases increasing in the country, even if the increase is gradual. You think it makes any sense right now to connect the two, or do you think we really need to have more data to understand that whether the vaccines that we're using now is also going to be able to neutralize Omicron or not? Should we wait it out, or should we immediately start off?
Well, Omicron has entered India and will spread, but it has not yet replaced Delta. And therefore, we still have to deal with the threat of Delta, which is more likely to produce severe infection. But Omicron, at the moment, global indications are that it's only producing milder infections, but the data still need to be gathered because the initial experience is that of young people in South Africa and of vaccinated people who have entered or emerged from European countries. So we still do not know how vulnerable older people and unvaccinated people are to an Omicron infection, but at the moment it appears to be relatively mild. Therefore, we have to try and protect the vulnerable, and I don't also think it's a zero-sum game. We try to protect those who are vulnerable, but I agree with Dr. John that we must try and push the pedal very hard on protecting those people who have been unvaccinated or incompletely vaccinated. And depending upon the availability of vaccines and of the vaccination teams, we must try and do both.
Also, my question to Professor Reddy again is on people asking these questions on boosters. Can we mix and match? Can I get 2 doses of Covaxin and then maybe, if I'm traveling outside, get a Pfizer shot or get some other vaccine like a Moderna? Is that something that is advisable at this point in time?
Well, the evidence has emerged mostly from Europe and partly from United States. In Europe, you have experience of a AstraZeneca vaccine being supplemented by a heterologous booster from Pfizer or Moderna, whereas in the United States, they're mostly mixed Pfizer and Moderna, but they are from the same family of mRNA vaccines. But it does appear that a heterologous booster does give you a much better immune response than a homologous booster. But we do not have that kind of information about the vaccines that have been used in India. We have not used the mRNA vaccines. We have used the inactivated virus vaccine as well as the virus vector vaccine, which is the AstraZeneca equivalent.